I'm Robert Ettinger, CEO of Ettingers, and we are designers and manufacturers of leather goods. The head office is in London and our factory is based here in Walsall. I think every company nowadays has to be innovative and think about new ideas and new products, because if you don't, you either stand still or you go backwards. We really wanted to find a company that would not just go off and do a website, came in and understood us as a business and as a company, and therefore created something that really spoke Ettinger.
They made it very clear, the client, Robert especially, that they didn't just want another website. They wanted a partner who would really understand them as a company, as a people.
When Ettinger products are sold in a retail store, people can pick them up and there are people who can talk to them and tell them about the item. But when you're selling on a website, it's got to speak for itself.
We took a whole suite of their products and we looked at the construction of them. The stitching never goes quite to the edge, it's always inset slightly. We looked at how they fold the leather over at the edge to create a nice seam. We looked at the corners of it, there's never any sharp corners. So it was all of these tiny details that we were exploring that we then started to take into the user experience and the user interface stage.
Given Ettinger's heritage and history, it was really important that we understood the craft and understood the product behind the brand so that we could design a luxury digital product.
So the first initial influences for designing the website were actually the factory visit and understanding the process from start to finish. Like when we use cat strokes in the interface, we actually made them rounded. It has meant that we needed to move from 1 pixel to 2 pixels to get the rounded edge at the end, but that was the only way in which we could actually translate the craft of what they do into the digital interface. We look at what that user or customer might see as their first exposure to the brand. So we look at the pattern that is used within the packaging, for example, and we look at the colours that use the predominant yellow, and we try and run them through a stroke calls to action where we put a slight radius on the edge to make it feel like the product itself. It also includes the debossing. As we scroll down the page, it pulls into the page and pushes in, much like Gary in the factory would pull the lever and push into the leather. A lot of these things might not be noticed, but it's a subtlety that will actually create the overall experience.
Creating a new website for Ettinger meant finding a company that really understood our DNA. We found that Vitamin, by coming along to our showrooms and talking to us, really understood what we were all about as a company.
The main satisfaction from this project is seeing the final website coming together in the way in which it was intended, and so many of those initial design theory features coming into fruition. All of these are subtle influences, but make and reflect the craft.
Robert and his team were brilliant throughout the project. They were easy to communicate with and were willing to be led through the design and development process.
We found working with Vitamin over the last few months has been excellent, and we hope to be working with them for many years to come.
Love the partnership already. I think we're very aligned in what we're trying to achieve, and I look forward to a long and fruitful partnership with Ettinger as a company and the team there.